why is unemployment rising? We would be looking at all these 4 types, right, to see what could be the possible reason. But unemployment could also be due to something that you can see on the demand and supply diagram. You see, there are actually 5 ways to split, okay, this dartboard on unemployment. Okay. So when I say demand and supply, it's because the labor market can be analyzed using DDSS analysis. Demand and supply, we always say, oh, we are talking about the market for goods and services. Well, the labor market is a service market. Okay. In fact, this was tested in the A-levels this year. So impact on labor market, you can analyze using DDSS. So how can you get unemployment in the labor market that does not overlap with cyclical, seasonal, frictional, structural? Because if you say cyclical, I think it's a fall in demand for labor. Okay, so what is uniquely here? Right? Number 1, government intervention. Like when you have a minimum wage. Minimum wage is also known as a price floor if you're talking about goods. Okay? When you have a minimum wage, this is what happens. Supply, demand. So a minimum wage, aka a price floor, is above the equilibrium price, right? Only then is it effective. And what happens is that so many people want to work, quantity supply of labor is there, but quantity demanded of labor is here. There is a surplus. The surplus here shows you, okay, how many people are actually unemployed. Or if you compare with the old equilibrium, you used to employ so many people, now only so many people are employed. So this is also the rise in unemployment. So this is due to government intervention. So it's not just cyclical, structural, frictional, but the question will help you. If they want you to use this, they'll say using DDSS analysis. Second, the second one is not something that triggers unemployment on its own, but it worsens unemployment, okay? Just for information, wage rigidities. I don't think they will test you on this, but FYI. When I say wage rigidities, right, wages are sticky downwards. This is the term they use to explain the wage model. What it means is that it's easy for wages to rise. They are not sticky upwards. But if you try to bring down wages, it's very hard. Why? Trade unions could be very powerful. Trade unions may say, no, you're not allowed to cut wages. This is the employment contract, okay? Or it could be due to some government policies. Minimum wage also could be. Or it could just be because people threaten to go on strike, right? In France, it happens quite regularly, right? If there's any threat of some cuts to the wages, they'll go on strike. So if wages are sticky, this means supply, demand, this equilibrium wage rate stays. It doesn't change. So what happens if, let's say today, there's a recession? If there's a recession today and demand falls to D2, by right, so many people will lose their jobs, correct? But if wages are sticky, that means they stay here, no? Wages are still here. Despite the fall in your demand, wages are stubbornly refuse to fall. So unemployment is higher. Okay. Maybe in a case study, they could ask you, oh, how, given a strong trade union, the unemployment problem is aggravated during a recession? Well, this could be it. Alright? So we can actually see how case study discussions do not necessarily have to be based on what the extract says. I mean, when you're doing it in the school, of course you want to see what the extract says, but if you're